Hello and welcome to Riff Views. Now, like I mentioned in a previous video, um, my main comic shop, as well as my backup shop, did not get their copies of Border Town. Not that they sold out, they just never received it. So yesterday I went out to a third comic shop, one I don't really like to go to. It's kind of out of the way. It's in a huge strip, a lot of traffic. It's a pain in the neck to deal with. And I was able to get Man-Eaters #2 as well as Border Town #3. And I thought, okay, after Man-Eaters, I'll do that one first. I'll read that first because you get the worst of it out of the way. And to Man-Eater's credit, they couldn't even fill up 22 pages. I think it was only like 17, 18, 19 pages a story. Less than that. But anyway, I talked about that yesterday. This book is a parody, isn't it? This is like some type of stealth parody. That's my theory. I'll come back to that. But anyway, this is Border Town #3. So we left off with the gang going into that one magic shop as they're being chased by evil chupacabras. So the story starts off with a history. I'm going to try and go through this quickly. Not one of those 20-minute videos because I can't deal with this. It goes through the history of the Aztec Empire. Here we are in the mid-16th century. And they talk about how the land was unspoiled by borders, fear, and hate. A time when beautiful bronze exemplars of human perfection lived proudly in massive golden cities. They were so scientifically, artistically, and spiritually advanced, racist historians would rather believe that they were designed by extraterrestrial intelligences than the native population. Had to drop racism right on the first page. And that's what this book is. I'll come back. I have a theory. So, at least one thing they don't shy away from, because when I was reading about this, I'm like, okay, what about the human sacrifices? And yeah, they do talk about that, how in exchange for the secrets to improving the quality of human life, they had to make human sacrifices to the king and queen of the dead. And so, yeah, then we get the little... What's with these books doing goofy sound effects lately? I guess the sound that a human skull makes when it bounces down stairs is boing, boing, boing. Apparently, human heads are slinkies. So we go through the years as the Europeans, they learn about the Aztec culture. They go and they're just getting slaughtered. The white men are getting slaughtered by the deities, by the king and queen of the dead. So for years afterward, the invaders did all they could to contain the wrath of the Mictlan. And yeah. But it was useless, like trying to solve a mathematical equation with modern dance. They didn't have the language for that. Just read this as a laughing specter. So yeah, some of the people are still around teaching the ways of how to protect against the demons, which I'm not quite sure. Is it because they're not getting sacrifices anymore that now they're just the king and queen of the dead, or just now attacking everybody, not just the white people? And here's where we start to get so woke. Oh, and by the way, so you're telling me that, at some point after the 19th century, these people, that's all they've been doing, and we haven't heard anything since? What's happened? What's happened in the past 200 years? What's happened lately to get them to... I think they're trying to explain it in this page. As we see, those evil ICE agents, arresting undocumented work. You see him smashing this symbol, whatever, this protection. But wait a minute. If he's a native, And his people have been here all this time. Why is he being deported? Oh, that's right. ICE is scary. They're bad guys. They're evil. Remember that. Evil. Oh, God. This book is giving me a headache. So yeah, human monsters, strange invaders from a foreign land, consumed by hate and compelled by a curious compulsion to send Aslan's native people back home. What? What? Leaving all of her citizens vulnerable to shadows of the past. So we cut to the present day where they're locked in the store. A couple of chupacabras are trying to break in, and he's even saying, Frankie's even saying, these guys don't seem like shadows from the past. They seem like a couple of large, terrifying monsters that are going to murder us to death real quick. Oh my God. Murder us to death. Superboy said that. Superboy Prime said that. I'll kill you to death. And we finally, after like 10 plus years, have finally gotten over that ridiculous line. But nope, DC gives us one to make up for it. So we have Julie here saying, Karandera isn't her name, nerd. It's a title. It's healer. It's Spanish. And then Amy runs out to help brace the door. And Frankie's like, oh, hi. And then Julie sees this and it's like, scoff. What? This reminds me, when I was little, I used to read reprints of the Superman stories from the 60s. And they used to use a sound effect, like, Lois Lane would be upset or somebody would be upset, and they would put in these little symbols, choke. And I never understood what that was supposed to be. Was it supposed to be like like being all choked up with emotion? What sound is it supposed to be? What sound is scoff? Is that like a... Because I do that a lot in this book. That could be my personal sound effect, and I would like to know. So yeah, the Chupacabra break-in. We still don't know, by the way, why those little tendrils came out of the radio into Frankie. What happened? What made him special? Is it a bloodline or something? Why can the other people see the Chupacabras the way they are? So, God, this book is so stupid. So Julie gets this idea. The deal with these monsters is that they're supposed to appear as whatever you're most afraid of, right? Blah, blah, blah. The mind can't handle it. It fills in the blanks. Then I know how to beat these things. She calls 911. And, oh yeah, a couple good old boys from the police force show up. Put your hands in the air where I can see them. Yeah. Can you read that? Kaepernick. Yeah. It's Kaepernick jersey. So woke. And, of course, the police open fire. We need to talk about this. You're really doing a disservice to the police force that they see a couple, African Americans, got the Kaepernick jersey here and probably supposed to be a Trayvon Martin thing, and just shoot them in the back. Yeah, just shoot them in the back. Because they're banging on a store. Yeah, a lot of respect for our police force, don't you? Oh, but it gets better. It gets better. So once killed, they turn back into their Chupacabra forms. At which point the police officer says, you seeing what I'm seeing? InfoWars, dude. Scoff. This is... What, did the Chupacabras turn gay? I mean, if we're going to go all Alex Jones... Oh, okay, let's see. We got the Kaepernick, the Trayvon Martin. We got that checked off. Let's see. InfoWars. Let's check that off. Okay. All right, so... Back inside the store, they realize that the Chupacabras have been killed by the police, and the police just take off. Okay, so they're just going to leave a couple dead Chupacabras out there. And, Frankie says, what do you think they saw? And she says, I've got a pretty good guess. So now that you've seen Behind the Veil, there is no turning back. That really explains this comic, too. There's no turning back. And Frank says probably the smartest thing in this book. No offense, lady, but what? But f that noise. You're asking me to defend a place I don't even like, and even Julie's in on it. I know her name's like Julieta or Juliana. I'm with the new kid. You saw what just happened. You think anyone else in this town would lay their life on the line for my black ass? We've shown this town, the people, that it's not just completely white. We've seen a lot of non-white people in this town. It's not like you're in, I don't know, some town in Minnesota. I'm from Detroit, okay? I see, white police interact with black cops, with black people. And they don't shoot just on a whim, okay? Calm down. This book is doing so much to set back race relations. So yeah, we got Quinte who's making friends with the Chupacabra, and they decide that you are part of the story now, whether you like it or not. You have gazed into the abyss, and the abyss has gazed back. Oh yes, I remember. Nietzsche, the famous Aztec philosopher. Yeah, that was in the writing. Wait, she didn't speak English. I just realized in previous books she's been speaking Spanish the entire time. So, but Amy goes ahead. She grabs some of the books, and even Julie's like, Amy. Yeah, blah blah. We cut over to our friendly racist Nazi skinhead joking. That's sarcasm. He's turning into a monster. His dad's trying to ask him what's wrong. And he starts peeling off his skin. We cut to the next day at school, where pretty much everyone is exhausted because they were up all night. Um, Amy, yeah, sure, whatever. Julieta, here, but apparently invisible. Oh, so yeah, the hints we have with the little relationship between the two. Oh, right. Bonus points. Can we check that off? Interracial, lesbian relationship. Check. Okay. So woke. Okay. Blake's not there. Even Quinte's, half asleep. Well, aren't we just a bunch of beams of sunshine today? Apparently, there's no one else in their class, just these 5 people. So after school, Frank even asks, why did we go in? And Julieta says, we've had 2 near misses with the police in the last 2 days. If we didn't show up today, it would have looked crazy suspicious. Why? Why? Why would that have looked suspicious? The 2 cops took off. I don't even think they saw you. They gunned down the supposed Trayvon Martin and Kaepernick jersey guy in the back. Then once they turned into monsters, they took off. Do you think they're going to talk to anybody? Yeah, it's just stupid. And God, I have to go back to the first issue. Did the police really show up? Was it that the Chupacabra disguised as a police officer, and he didn't really actually show up? I'm trying to remember because that means, excuse me, you've had no interaction with the police. So Amy is burying her face in the book, and Quinte is worried about their Chupacabra. We just left him there with that crazy old lady. I'm sure he's all right. A mythological demon, not some pound puppy. She smelled like vapor rub and cigarettes. And then we get to hear, you like those, don't you? She's feeding him snack foods and, El Cheeto Cabra. Ha! Shut up. That's humor. I've got no words. So, Amy is now putting up the signs of protection. She's putting all the sage around, which ends up setting off the fire alarms at the school. And again, they seem to have a nice little mix of students in the class. So the vice principal, takes her to the office. The gang wants to know if there's anything that, should they do anything? Like what? Like help her. And Julie walks away. It's just a vice principal. Your girlfriend can handle it. Like, what? And even Amy's like, seriously? Over a boy? Oh, we have heartbreak. All because she went and helped square up the door. And just, he was in the way. Yeah. And stupid, stupid, stupid. So let's go through this real quick. She goes to the vice principal's office. He's, makes a bunch of, like, Asian references about how she's exotic. He's had his eye on her for a while. She's just fallen in with a bad crowd. We don't even have a math club. Remind me, where are your parents from? Los Angeles. You know what I mean. You're exotic. You hang around with the African American girl, and now I hear you've added a couple Hispanic boys to the mix. They've got you all turned around. Is this gang stuff? Is this some sort of initiation? Is that what the graffiti's all about? Level with me, Amy. I'm hip. And, so yeah, he's just kind of brandishing a knife as he's chopping his apple. So she takes the knife. Let's get past this here. Julieta isn't African American. Ethnically, she's Brazilian, which isn't Hispanic, and Spanish, which isn't Latino. But her parents grew up in Mexico before coming here, so I guess you just call her American, if you need to call her anything at all. Quinte is indigenous and Mexican. His family has been a fixture on this continent before the invention of gunpowder. And I think Frank said he was Irish and Mexican. A lot of that going around, I guess. Hence my last name, Ramirez. I'm Mexican and Japanese, which creepy old man like you like to have told me my entire life makes me exotic, even though I feel more exhausted. Well, how exotic do I look now? And then as she starts, taking a knife to her face, everybody applauded. Oh, wait. This was just Tumblr the page. So she starts carving the marks into her eyes. It's an Aztec glyph, and it's supposed to keep away monsters. And I guess it works, and he falls down dead. Yeah. Okay, so maybe he was trying to, seduce her or whatever. Honestly, I read this as being more concerned. She has been basically putting graffiti up and walking around setting sage through. What does she think they were going to do? And this little pose here with the knife, I mean, God, this has Basic Instinct written all over it. Oh, and hey, look, he's a fan of Trump. He's evil. You see, there's Trump. There he is. Check. So yeah, I'm stopped. There's a couple pages left, and it's basically just Blake's dad going all Elvis on the TV with a shotgun, and now Blake has turned completely into a monster, and this book is crap. It's full of caricatures that tries to be so woke. Hey, can we say that this is racist for her having China-like skin on here? That this is what do they call that? Appropriating a kabuki? Oh, no, anyway. I have a theory about this book. It tries to be so woke that it brings up, like, all the stuff you see on Twitter and Tumblr, all the scary boogeyman check marks. I've spent quite a bit of time in Arizona. I have not seen anything like this. Not saying it's not like that. I'm sure there are places I didn't get over the entire state. But yeah, this. If I was a resident of Arizona, I would be insulted by this book, especially if I was like a teacher or a cop. But yeah, let's see. We got Scary Bad Orange Man. We have creepy vice principal hitting on the Asian girl when it looked like he was actually just trying to help this girl that's now suddenly stealing stuff and vandalizing things and putting up graffiti. We have cops that just shoot what they think are black people right in the back. What else? Oh, we have the Chupacabra eating Cheetos. Forgot about that. That's like the minor stupidity of this book. But my theory is that this is a parody. Who's the writer? This cover is very hard for me to read. Eric Esquivel. I wonder if this isn't supposed. Maybe he's really conservative, and he's doing this book to hit all the points um, that the left is all about, all the race and everything, Orange Man bad, all the NPC points. Um, and I wonder if he's doing this book as such a parody to make it look like, hey, I hit all the checkpoints, but it's actually making fun of the radical left, of the far left. That is the only explanation I have for this book. I, I just, there are no characters in this book. There's caricatures. Um, and yeah, we have our multicultural Burger King gang here. The only likable character is Quinte, because he's pretty likable. He doesn't do anything. He cares for the chupacabra. Everyone else is stupid. Everyone in this book is stupid. No one is a real character. And here I am at 20 minutes. I did not want to spend 20 minutes of my life on this freaking book. And apparently it gets rave reviews. How? How? Oh, that's right. NPC Orange Man bad. Got it. Oh. But thankfully, this is the last bad book I got this week. I'm a little behind this week. It's Sunday. In a few days, I just couldn't do any videos. But I still have Green Lantern #1. I still have that. I still have a couple other books. So, let's get this out of the way. This is done. I can't do this. This is bad. So, like I said, I'm telling myself this is a parody book. This is a parody book to make people think that it's so woke, but they're actually making fun of them. I mean, look at my skin color. Look at that. Trust me, I'm not offended at the anti-whitey stuff. Trust me. But this book is very anti-white. Anyway, welcome to NPC Town. I'm done. I'm leaving. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.